I think it's safe to say that Manchester United certainly needed that. I mean, goal scoring has been the problem by and large this season, but the front three were good today, weren't they?
Yeah, still plenty to work on for them, but the positives today were without doubt the front three in Garnacho, Rashford and Hojlund. I thought they more than played their part and were a constant threat for large parts of the game. They linked up well, getting their shots away at goal. Hojlund was really impressive, coming a lot of the times having to do the work and holding and fending defenders off, going deep, which then allowed the other two to play a more forward role. I mean, that's an incredible ball from Rashford, a great strike, and then he sets Garnacho up and perhaps should hit the target with his left foot. Again, Hojlund coming short, really well does to get the turn, then puts Garnacho away in there into the defence of Brentford. And this was a constant most of the afternoon. Really well worked again. A little give and go, the 1-2, OK, nothing comes of that one. But what they do is they keep the ball alive, Manchester United, and then Rashford eventually gets on the ball, and you're going to see an incredible cross and a fantastic finish from Garnacho there. Yes, he's got other options. He can play Hojlund in, but look at the cross here that he puts in. He picks him out with perfection. Look at that, and then the finish. Oh,
it's a really good goal.
Unbelievable goal. Yeah, there's so many good things about that. Again, taking the defenders away from the game so they can bring Garnacho into it. Again, he does really well. He's powerful. He attacks the defence, and that's a really good save again. Pressing that they had to do and forcing Brentford into kicking it long. They did. And then they get the other goal. And Hojlund deserved this goal because of his work. The flick from Bruno is sublime. But that is a really clever finish. There's the flick there. Still got a lot to do, but this will do wonders for his confidence. First Premier League goal of the season, but that has to be on a regular basis now from those three. Yeah.
Well, Manchester did go behind, of course, and there was some controversy, wasn't there, surrounding De Ligt and his head injury and blood, and should he be on the pitch, should he not?
Yeah, I mean, this happened after 11 minutes, Gary, and you can see the medical team have the first sort of go at stopping the bleed, and then it's an accidental collision, I think. This is his position from a set play, so the corner, this is his own position. Yeah. De Ligt in the space, he's free to go and head the ball. We've shown that because obviously Pinnock scored just before half-time. Yeah. This is the second chance they got, they cleared up now. You can't really blame the referee, Sam Barrett, because that's the laws of the game. You have to take him off, you have to get it fixed, and he's saying you have to, there's blood coming down his face. He's got no choice. And this is right on the stroke of half-time. You can see he's angry, but that's the space we showed. That's where De Ligt would be. Pinnock has a free run, bang, and they're 1-0 down. If it stays 1-0, it's a massive moment, but at the same time, I'd be looking more probably at the medical team than the referee. You can see De Ligt's here at the end. He's raging, and he has to go with the fourth official as well. But that's the laws of the game. They made the right decision. I think Ten Hag and Van Nistelrooy also get booked as well. But for me, it's the medical team I'll be looking at maybe more than anyone else.
Yep, and he's bandaging up.
Your complaints about Brentford's goal?
We didn't know why the refereeing bring one of our players in a critical moment of the pitch because it was dry blood. And they take benefit from it, and of course then you are frustrated. Everyone was angry. We took that as fuel, and you saw in the quick start in the second half we want to put things right, and we did, and we scored 2 beautiful goals.
I think we didn't win the last 5 games, but now after the break we needed that win for us, for the fans, so we did, and we are happy, but also next week we have to step up and win also games.
I think we did a lot of things right first half against Manchester United, which I think was very impressive. Second half is disappointing overall because I know what these players are capable of. So that's that's the frustrating part.
Well, I know that you've said there's been noise, lies, fairy tales, all of that nonsense, but you can enjoy today after the performance and the result.
I'll only focus on this. What everyone is writing is coming off my shoulders. I can deal with this.
But it's 3 points that takes them. Of course, they went into this game 14th in the table, up to 11th for now. Of course, we'll see Nottingham Forest in action tomorrow as they look to go back ahead of United. Don's still with us. We'll hear from Don in a moment. This was much better, wasn't it? This was a good Manchester United performance, especially second half.
After 15 minutes it was. First 15 minutes, they struggled. Brentford started well. Had a really good opportunity with a ball across the box. And then United gathered some pace, some confidence, started creating chances, started isolating Garnacho on Van Berg, the fullback, who, by the way, was absolutely petrified of Garnacho. Never got tight to him once. Every time he got it, he just dropped off and dropped off. Big performances from Casemiro, who's been under pressure and out the team. Big performance from, better performance from Hernandez. Better performance in general from Diego Dallo. Rashford looked sharper. And their best player by quite some was Garnacho. They created a lot of chances. Brentford could have been out there now as we speak. And Anana could have brought the sun cream out. And, you know,
Xhaka could have gone and goal.
Yeah, well, maybe not that bad. But, so they were. This was a perfect tonic for Eric Ten. I mean, I don't know why they're complaining about the De Ligt situation. The law is the law. Right. He's got blood streaming down his face. He's got to go off. Yeah. The wound was seeping again. It's coming down his face. You have to go off, right? Whether there's a corner kick or not. So I don't know why they're complaining. It is what it is. But the general performance from this United side today for 70 minutes was much slicker, was much more incisive. Hojlund held the ball up and linked up better as the game went on. And they looked to have a little pattern of play. The big question is this a one-off because it was Brentford and they were poor today? Or can they take that into these big games that are coming up? We'll see.
The biggest takeaway for me with this United performance is the response to going a goal behind.
Right, especially timing as well.
Yeah, and time and time again, we've seen this Manchester United play some decent football, then get a punch in the nose and just not know how to respond. And I'm with Craig. Probably after 10 minutes, I thought, I cannot see Brentford getting over the half-line, let alone scoring a goal. And then all of a sudden, they get the set piece, and I spoke about Dallo. Again, for me, I'm with Craig. De Ligt had to go off. I mean, I don't even know how you argue that. But you've got to deal with that situation better. But so many times we've sat here and said this about United. Good football, then all of a sudden give away a cheap goal and just capitulate. This time it was anything but. They kept their momentum. And again, maybe the opposition has something to do with it, but that's not on United. I thought they maintained their style, their momentum, and in the end, fully deserving of the 3 points. Should have been more. I give them their credit today.
What was different today, Don?
I think the second half, I think it was a big half-time team talk that Eric Ten Hag must have delivered because they were really struggling in the game. I think it was more than 10, 15 minutes that the game was actually a little bit like the Villa game where it was a little bit average. They were creating half chances. Garnacho had quite a few on the left-hand side, but sort of tight angles. So Brentford, I thought, were really poor for them. They're normally a good side. They normally can mix their play up, but they didn't look like ever really going forward. Second half, when they went 1-0 down at half-time for Ethan Pinnock, it was a big sort of 15, 20 minutes for Man United where they scored straight after half-time. Now, that gets you back in the game. I thought the fans were terrific. You know, if a lot of people from the outside are not convincing Eric Ten Hag, well, the Man United fans didn't show it today. I thought they were really, really good. And they scored at the right time, Dan. They scored 5 minutes after the second half, and then they scored a lovely second goal, lovely little flick from Bruno Fernandes and Rasmus Hojlund all game. His hold-up play was really good. He got no service, but every time it went up to him in the halfway line, he held it up, he dropped it off. And then for once in the game, and for once probably all of this season, he had service when Bruno Fernandes flicked it around the corner and he showed what he can do, and he's bearing down and goal with a little flick finish. And then you saw sort of glimpses of the real Man United coming back where they played with a bit of swagger and a bit of confidence. And in the end, it was a really good win. But yeah, it's one of these where, is it a one-off like Craig said? They've got Fenerbahce in Turkey, Jose's team this week. Will it be another bump in the road? Then they've got West Ham, then they've got Chelsea. So he needs to gather some results and have momentum and keep on winning games because that's the only thing that'll shut out the noise.
Yeah, they'll be looking to keep their momentum. Sorry, did you want to say anything interesting?
Well, actually, I was going to say something, but it was pretty uninteresting.
Well, that doesn't stop you in the past. Just to remind
Eric, that's a brilliant win, 2 good goals and a great performance as well.
I think we don't have to overrate it, but I'm most pleased. We scored 2 brilliant goals, and the way we scored was really enjoyable, and that will really inspire the team to do even more.
After what happened at the end of the first half and that goal being allowed to stand and how all of that happened, you used that as fuel for the second half, and you could really see that in your team. Was that a conscious decision, or was that just how the dressing room was feeling?
Of course, it was a conscious decision. We were all very angry about the way we conceded this goal, but we responded well. And this is the way you should do. We were even more determined as before halftime. We had our chances before halftime, we didn't take, but after halftime we were so determined to score goals and to win this game. But also the support of the fans was very important in this, and they really were behind us from the moment we came out of the tunnel, and they pushed us forward, and they pushed us in a higher level, they pushed us in a higher tempo, and in that moment I think our opponent couldn't compete this, couldn't stay with us, and they conceded the goals.
Best fans in the world, aren't they? These Manchester United.
Absolutely, and so we are so happy to play for this cup, and you see, because we are together, and that is what we need, because many others are against us.
Just a word on Rasmus Hojlund, who Alejandro Garnacho has just said that the goal was the worst part of his performance. Everything else about Rasmus's performance was incredible. What do you think about that? He played really well today.
Rasmus Hojlund, yeah, he was good, and he was good as a target. He had some good link up in the game, and what's very important today, because they go to that one-on-ones. But I think we know that Rasmus Hojlund, he's quite clinical, and that is what we missed in the last weeks and in the first week of the season.
How important is this just finally for confidence of your team going forward into the rest of the season?
That's always wins will bring you belief in more, will bring the confidence, and you can perform quite well as we did in the first start of this season. But we had clean sheets, we created chances, but when you don't net and you don't win, then of course then everyone is disappointed. And everyone around is disappointed. But of course, when you have a performance like this and you win, that will bring up the mood. But it's only a win. That's also what we have to consider and to realize, because we have to win every game. So it's only 24 hours and then we move on. But definitely that will bring us confidence.
Eric, thank you.
Okay.
In a thrilling match, Erik ten Hag revealed how a sense of injustice fueled Manchester United's remarkable second-half comeback against Brentford, turning a 1-0 deficit into a 2-1 victory. After a tumultuous international break, the pressure was on ten Hag as his side fell behind just before half-time due to Ethan Pinnock's powerful header from a corner. With Matthijs de Ligt temporarily sidelined for treatment, ten Hag's frustration boiled over, leading to his booking as he argued against the decision. However, this feeling of unfairness ignited a fire in his players, leading to an explosive second-half performance. Alejandro Garnacho's stunning volley and Rasmus Hojlund's clinical finish secured the much-needed win, breaking a 5-game winless streak. Ten Hag emphasized the importance of using that sense of injustice as motivation, stating, "We increased the tempo and scored 2 great goals." While acknowledging the pressure to win, ten Hag remained focused on improving the team's finishing. "We are getting into the right positions, but need to be more clinical." On the other side, Brentford's Thomas Frank expressed disappointment in his team's lackluster second-half display, admitting they failed to maintain their first-half momentum. Join us for an in-depth analysis of the match, key player performances, and what this victory means for Manchester United moving forward. In a dramatic second-half performance, Manchester United showcased their resilience, overturning a first-half deficit to secure a 2-1 victory against Brentford. Confidence surged through the squad after the break, culminating in a stunning goal from Rasmus Hojlund just after the hour mark. A brilliant flick from Bruno Fernandes set Hojlund free, and the Danish striker delicately chipped the ball over goalkeeper Mark Flekken, completing a remarkable turnaround for Erik ten Hag's men. The second half was dominated by United, with Diogo Dalot coming close to extending the lead after a fantastic assist from Onana. However, Flekken was once again on hand to deny the defender, keeping Brentford in the game for a little longer. While Brentford looked threatening in the first half, they struggled to find their rhythm after half-time against a more organised United defence. The visitors failed to create any significant chances, allowing United to maintain control and secure a much-needed 3 points. The standout performer of the match was undoubtedly Alejandro Garnacho. After a slow start, he emerged as the creative force United desperately needed. His brilliant volley early in the second half not only equalised but also ignited his team's momentum. Throughout the match, Garnacho proved to be a constant threat down the left flank, giving Sepp van den Berg a tough afternoon. Despite his one goal, he will surely reflect on missed opportunities, knowing he could have added more to his tally. Ten Hag's visible elation at full-time encapsulated the relief and joy of a vital win that reignites United's season. Player of the match Alejandro Garnacho. In a stunning turn of events, Sir Alex Ferguson, the legendary manager of Manchester United, has been let go from his £2 million a year ambassadorial role at Old Trafford. In response, Pep Guardiola has stepped up to pay the ultimate compliment to the iconic figure of football. Guardiola, who has enjoyed tremendous success at Manchester City, including 6 Premier League titles in just 8 seasons, declared Ferguson as the greatest manager in football history. Despite his own impressive achievements, Guardiola emphasized that he doesn't aspire to outdo Ferguson, rather, he feels honored to even be mentioned in the same breath. In his heartfelt remarks, Guardiola stated, "In this country and all around the world, Sir Alex Ferguson is the best." For the time, for the change of teams, for the trophies, he expressed deep respect for Ferguson's legacy and acknowledged that his own success is a product of the talented players and staff around him. Guardiola reflected on how other great managers like Jurgen Klopp and Jose Mourinho have influenced his growth as a coach. He believes that true greatness isn't just about titles but also about continuous improvement and learning from peers. As Guardiola weighs his future with City, where he is being courted for a contract extension, he faces a significant change with the upcoming departure of his close ally, Ksiki Begiristain. Join us as we delve into Guardiola's touching tribute to Ferguson and what it means for both Manchester clubs moving forward.